Computer boot sequence initiated. Accessing library computer data. NCC 10535. Starship Tempest.
Space. The final frontier. These are the missions of the Starship Tempest. Set between Captains Kirk and Picard, four friends stumble their way through their first role-playing game as the crew of this Federation starship, exploring strange new worlds, keeping peace in the galaxy, defending their keyboards from kids and cats, and going clumsily, if not boldly, where no one has gone before. Captain's Log Supplemental. The Tempest is engaged in a firefight with two Klingon birds of prey, although we seem to have gained the upper hand, at least momentarily. The Klingons' motivations and connections to Dr. Turan remain a mystery, as does what comes next.
Okay, so now it is the Tempest's turn again.
Alright, I suggest, how are our warp engines? I kind of want to do a little bit of a Picard maneuver here, even though we don't know what that is yet.
I mean, we can get them in range, correct? Like,
yeah, you could fly, and you don't need to do a Picard maneuver to do it. You can fly over there.
So just out of curiosity, we could shoot a torpedo now while they're in long range, and then move in as an action, and then fire phasers as another action, correct?
Yes, that's what we're going with for now.
I mean, that would be 3 actions, and we only have 4. So, like, we would have to decide what that 4th action would be.
Well, one ship is disabled, one ship still has a breach, and the other one sealed this breach, correct? That's the tactical situation?
Correct.
All right.
Okay.
Question. If we fix the breach that we currently have, Brian, in this turn, do we get that action back this turn?
I will say no.
That makes sense.
It will come back the next turn.
But I say we maneuver ourselves within phaser range of the two closest birds of prey, and or as you were saying, actually, fire torpedoes, and then move ourselves closer and take out the one that has the greatest resistance right now.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So, Captain, we're firing torpedoes.
Yep. Fire torpedoes.
I would suggest someone else fire their torpedoes and let Holden do the phasers once we get in close.
Agreed.
I'm doing it.
Get a good speed.
Sorry, we're calling this a control and security?
Yeah, control security for yourself, and then weapons and security for the ship.
I'm going to spend a momentum and roll 3 dice.
I'll roll for the ship.
Okay.
How many momentum do we have before we do that?
Spending those, you're down to 3.
All right.
Oh my.
Oh my god.
2 failures and a
I'm
critical
spending
failure, and then a 2.
Bagels.
Well, Captain pulled it off, so...
Yep. Okay, so it is a difficulty 2, so you have 2 successes.
Hooray.
But you do have a complication.
Boo.
Complication now or threat later?
I'd say he's low on threat, so we just give him 1.
Yeah, I think that works.
Okay. Alright, so I'm up to 3. And you guys have 3 as well. So the photon torpedo attack succeeds. Roll damage for it.
Fucking nailed him.
Yeah, you did. Okay.
We rolled the torpedoes and really messed them up.
So which one were you guys targeting, left or right?
I was the left one was the weaker of the two, correct?
The left one was the stronger of the 2.
Yeah, yes, I'm sorry, that's what I meant. So, that's the one that I was intending on attacking, their strongest vessel.
Okay, so go ahead and roll a d6. So 5, you cause a breach in their weapons.
Nice.
Yeah. Honestly, I did not expect this combat to go this long.
Yeah, we haven't even gotten into the episode yet, have we?
No, not really, no.
Oh, jeez, really?
This is still the opening volley before the front end credits.
Yeah.
An exciting 6-part.
Okay, so that was your first action, and you have 4 total.
All right. So the next step was to maneuver ourselves closer to put us within phaser range.
Yep. Okay, so that's going to be engines and con, difficulty 1.
And this is a doe.
Joe, get those hooves a moving.
need to get some coconut so we can do that. Tara like that one.
I want that.
Alright, who's gonna roll for dough?
I can. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm rolling for the ship. You said it's engines and...
Con.
Good speed. Why don't you roll for dough?
I will roll for dough. What is this? Control and security again?
Con and control.
Okay.
The ship gets 1 success.
Okay, there we go. I get 2 success, including 1 super success.
Wow.
Okay, and it was only a difficulty 1, so you get 3 momentum back. You're up to 6.
Good work, everyone.
And the ship successfully closes so that the 2 birds of prey, the 2 still active ones, are within medium range. However, the disabled ship is still at long range.
That's okay.
All right.
So that's 2 actions. You have 2 actions remaining.
Okay, I say we take a shot at both of them. Anybody else?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you used 1 point. You used 1 point of power to maneuver from where you were. The torpedo did not take a unit of power, but the maneuvering did.
So we're down to 5?
6.
6, okay.
All right. So I'm gonna fire phasers.
Okay, that will also take a power.
Yep. Since we're back up to 6, I'm gonna use a momentum.
Okay.
Does someone want to roll for the ship?
Yeah, I'll roll for the ship. Weapons and security again?
Yep.
Security and weapons, difficulty 1, and fire.
There you go. Look at you.
Yikes. Okay.
Yeah. 3 successes from the ship.
Take that, bagel.
So difficulty 2.
5 total successes.
So you get 3 momentum back. So go ahead and roll damage.
Here it comes. Phasers, array, and fire.
4, 6,
9.
8, 9. Okay. So -3 because of the resistance. It has no shields left, so that still does a breach. Go ahead and roll a d6 for the damage. Which system you damage? 6. Okay, another breach on the communication system.
Nice work.
Now they can't talk to each other, right?
Well, so they lose yet another action, and if you inflict 1 more breach on their communication, then their communication system will be disabled.
I see.
Okay. That was your 3rd out of 4 actions.
Also,
Correct?
just to be clear, they have no shields, so unless they take an action to redo their shields, they have 0 shields. So any hit is an automatic breach. Correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, I still say we take out, target the other ship, unless anybody has any other better suggestions.
We can't. We've already used our 2 weapons.
And
so.
3 weapons. I used my fist.
We can't fire again?
No, you can only do 1 action per turn, and we've already used both
I
phasers
see.
and photon
So
torpedoes.
because we use both of the ship's weapons, we can't do that.
Correct.
we could
You
try
have a
and
tractor beam that
something.
you could use. Yeah.
I-
Travis and I are the same person.
We're all going to say that at the same time. You guys just beat me to it. I was either
Weird.
going to say set a collision course, but we've already used our engines, unless we use our warp engines and set a collision course.
Activate the
Okay.
hold door maneuver.
Oh.
Anybody?
You say Hodor?
No, the what's her name? Holdo.
Yeah.
Oh.
Holdo, yeah. From
yeah.
Last Jedi.
Holdo. Oh.
Okay, so what do you guys want to do?
Can we do that?
I mean,
You
no, we're not gonna ramming speed in the middle
What?
of this, Captain.
But why not? we have shields. They hardly do.
What do I roll to take command of this ship?
Can we use our tractor beam to grab the derelict ship and throw the derelict ship into the side of one of the other Klingon battle cruisers?
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a good
I
one.
like that.
I'll let you try that if you want.
Good God.
Yeah,
So
let's do that.
So wait. So as also a note, they were trying to get the pieces of the experimental torpedo
Yes.
because it's
Yeah.
it's floating around, isn't it?
It's floating on the disabled bird of prey.
Okay. Could we also try and get it?
If you want.
Hey, can I explore this from a new angle?
Sure.
So this guy, Grand Moff Tarkin or whatever his name is, he gave so we give him our shield frequency, and immediately it winds up in the hands of the Klingons. I punch him, and that felt good. But it would seem that he is in cahoots with them, And so I would like to recommend, and I say this very quietly so he doesn't hear you, I'd like to recommend where I point a gun at him, sorry, phaser, this is the future, I point a phaser at him and tell him to call off his goons, and I haven't thought about it much more than that.
Okay, is that what you do?
No, I'm just throwing that out there.
Captain?
I guess it's my turn. So
Yeah,
that's,
I mean, there's multiple things we can do. We can try and get the remnants of the thing that they're still trying to get. We could try to get him to communicate with the Klingons. We could repair our own shields, because I think currently we are still down at like 5.
Yeah, something like that.
So we could try and fix the breach on our engines as well. That's still an option that we could do. Just as a tactical layout, those are the various options.
Yeah.
I kind of like Goodspeed's angle. So, Goodspeed runs over. Oh no, what's my name? Maddox runs over and grabs our guest by the collar. Dr. Torin points a phaser at him and says, "Call off your goddamn ships."
Okay.
That was anticlimactic.
And he says, "Oh, okay, sure, yeah." No, he says, "I can't. I'm sorry, I can't."
Why
All right,
not?
and Maddox shoots him in the leg with a phaser.
Oh,
Oh my god, Maddox.
escalated quickly.
I'm gonna ask you this question and think about it for a second before you answer. But do you actually do that?
Yes, I do that.
Okay. So there's another aspect of the game that we haven't really touched on yet, which is called escalation.
Which is called leg phasering.
when you
Have we
when you
ever seen
escalate the
that as an
situation-
option?
when you escalate the situation, that does give me 2 threats.
Oh, geez.
Because your Starfleet is all about nonviolence, resolutions
Yeah.
and actions. So you are clearly going against that philosophy. So
So when I punch him in the face, we were just good with that?
yeah, actually thinking about it, I should have given myself a threat for that too.
I mean, securing an obvious traitor is not something that is out of the realm of what Starfleet does.
no, but shooting him in cold blood, for lack of a better term.
Right, I was talking about
Well,
about
when you
Goodspeed.
put it that way.
Yeah. Well, just also punching him out of the blue also isn't exactly security procedure. Standard security procedure.
I don't shoot him, but I give him a really bad Charlie horse.
Any physical action against him is going to result in an escalation.
No, he just slams him up against the console and says, "Call off the birds of prey,"
Okay.
or I'm gonna have Goodspeed punch you in the face.
Again. So he is really, really panicking at the moment. He is just completely lost all sense of composure. But he still maintains that he has no way of calling off the birds of prey. And he's desperately trying to convince you of that fact, even though he knows that he's misled you up to this point. You have no reason to believe him. He's still saying, I can't do it. They won't listen to me now. I gave them the shield frequency, but they won't listen to me now. I just gave them what they needed to do their job. So he's still, at least is professing that he doesn't have the ability to call them off.
Okay.
Is there any? I'll give you guys one more chance to do something before I go. Before I take my
Yeah,
next.
we
step.
should either try and replenish the shields or fix the breach. One of the two.
I say we take Torrin into custody and we get the hell out of here.
Okay.
Remember earlier when I said run?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you, let's see, if you want to go to warp,
You gotta get with my friends.
if you want to be my warper,
Gotta get with my friend.
do engines. No, you know what? I'm sorry. This is what we're gonna do. You're gonna have to repair the engine breach before I let you go to warp.
And this is all just my turn?
Yes, because both Goodspeed and Holden have gone,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
Oh, dear God.
So, Eel,
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Can go.
you're up.
Well, so I'm repairing things again, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
As I am wont to do.
So it's going to be engineering and control, and then the ship can assist with engines and engineering.
Right. And it's difficulty 2.
Yes.
I will roll for the ship.
And how many momentum do we have right now?
You have 7 momentum right now.
I say we spend...
Spend 1.
Right. I will spend 1 for the ship.
And
Okay.
am I using a focus or not?
What's your focus?
I've got electroplasma systems, survival, hand weapons, guerrilla tactics, and Bajoran religion, which is just ridiculous.
Since I am an alien.
No, I would say none of those apply.
I don't know. We could pray while we do it.
None of those apply, no.
All right, fine. I hit no.
The ship has 3 successes.
Nice.
Hey, I got 2 there.
Good.
Okay, so what did I say? Difficulty 2?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so you get 3 momentum back. That
Ooh.
tops you off.
Oh, lovely.
Okay, and your engine breach goes away, and that is the end of the round for the Tempest. So what happens next is 2 Romulan warbirds
Of course.
decloak, flanking the disabled bird of prey.
I'm sorry. Are you kidding me right now?
2 Romulan warbirds decloak on either
I
side.
said 2 rounds ago that we leave. And now this. I'm not fixing it anymore. I'm not gonna.
The warbirds, the IRW Karas and the IRW Chimera, uncloak, and they succeed.
Oh dear.
Thank God, finally.
Why is that good for any of us?
It's not good for you. It's good for me.
You can't win.
They managed to beam.
You're not the opposition, Brian.
Yeah.
Well, when I'm playing the Romulans, I am, or the Klingons.
No.
They succeed at beaming the remains of the torpedo on board the leftmost Romulan warbird from your perspective.
Starboard.
Port.
God damn it.
They're both off to your starboard bow, but one is to the left of the other, and that's the one that has the prototype. And the other one is going to maneuver, so it's going to do engines and con, difficulty 1, and it succeeds. So it's going to maneuver between the 2 Klingon birds of prey off your starboard bow, and that's their turn.
Oof. Great.
What would you guys like to do?
We should go.
Leave.
We should go.
Yes, I tend to agree.
Okay. So you guys can go where you want.
Away.
Sometimes you're the deflector dish, sometimes you're stardust.
Warping away is going to be engines and engineering, difficulty 1. So if you guys want to warp away, go ahead.
Okay.
Engines and con for the ship?
Control and con for the character.
All right. Ensign Doe, get us out of here, please, with alacrity.
The ship rolls as a success.
Okay, so that's all the success you need, and you're topped up on momentum. So, okay, so the ship successfully warps away. You guys warp to maybe a few light years away. Maddox, you make a report to Starfleet Command immediately. Do you want to do anything with the good doctor before
Bad doctor.
you make your report to Starfleet?
Has he been punched?
Yeah, I want to throw him in the brig,
Okay.
which we do.
Okay, so he goes into the brig.
Should probably interrogate him.
And I think that would be your job, Mr. Holden.
How to get burned. How to get burned.
So you guys have successfully warped away from the system. You've thrown the doctor into the brig, and you make your report to Starfleet Command. And they, in short order, send you new orders. Starfleet needs you to track down the stolen torpedo prototype and ensure that the Romulans don't keep it. Such firepower might give the Romulans an upper hand in the ever-increasing arms race between the two powers. It can also move the Klingons towards a civil war if it's ever discovered that they violated the treaty by attacking a Federation starship, or if they've joined with Romulans. However, an interstellar incident with either power is to be avoided at all costs. So Starfleet orders you essentially to chase down the Romulans, and somehow, without exasperating the situation even further, prevent them from returning to Romulan space with the torpedo prototype remains.
What happened with the Romulans and the Klingons after we left?
So the Romulans took the prototype remains aboard their own ship. You don't necessarily... You could go back to that system, and if you want to find out what happened to the Klingons...
So I guess part of me is asking, do you know what happened?
Mm-hmm.
Can
Okay.
we know?
So this is what has happened from your perspective. You are fighting the two Klingon birds of prey. Both of them tried to retrieve the remains of the prototype and both failed. When they did, two Romulan warbirds decloaked, and one of them successfully retrieved the prototype remains. At that point, you guys fled from the system, and now you know that the Romulans are heading back to their own space, but that is all you know.
Does anybody have any relatives, roommates, former roommates that live on New Providence?
I got a buddy who lives on Rad Puppies, which appears to be a star, I guess. Or maybe that's Rao Pupis. I don't know what that is, but I like it.
Rad puppies.
It's a constellation.
Okay.
Okay. Is this a Starfleet officer of yours, Goodspeed?
No, I just wanted to say Rad Puppies. I do not know anyone about... I do not. I have no useful help.
Well, I think I remember that Ensign Doe's Starfleet roommate was stationed somewhere near New Providence.
Okay.
Why does that matter?
Because it's on the route of flight of the Romulan ship, and we probably won't be able to catch up to them if they're at maximum warp, if we're going to investigate the Ingozia system. So if our options are pursue or try to find somebody to help cut off the pass.
Starbase 324, if we got anybody out at Starbase 324, that would be helpful.
So, I will say this. Mm-hmm. The route goes through the Pulse Nebula. Once they enter the nebula, they'll have to drop down to a very low warp at that point. So you could catch up with them at the Pulse Nebula.
But if somebody was in New Providence already, we wouldn't have to catch up to them.
Or Starbase 324.
Or Starbase 324.
Yeah.
Why would they send us?
Where's the Enterprise?
Hey, Admiral, can I ask a question?
We're the only ship in the quadrant.
Is there any?
Okay.
Is there any other ship in range, like anyone else?
There is. Let's say, because I don't want to say that you guys are the only ship in range, because that's too easy.
Especially since they're going right by a starbase.
Yeah. We will say that at
Actually,
Starbase
2.
324 right now is a Oberth class science ship, but that is the only ship nearby.
It's the only ship in range, and you know it.
It is an Oberth class science ship is a very small, underpowered ship that is absolutely no match for two Romulan warbirds.
What about at Starbase 23?
You did this to yourself.
I did do it to myself, but this is
You're gonna
exactly
tell me?
why.
Please tell me there's only an Oberth class starship located directly on the neutral zone with Romulan space.
There is a
freighter.
There is a Merced class starship patrolling the neutral zone in that area right now.
But its hull is entirely made out of towels.
A Merced class starship is no match for two Romulan warbirds either. The Tempest is absolutely the biggest, most powerful, fastest ship in the area, and there is nothing as powerful as the Tempest between the Romulans and Romulan
Captain,
space.
I recommend we lay in a pursuit course for the Romulan ship, and we take that time as we're pursuing to interrogate our guest.
I agree with a small addendum. Ensign Doe, set course for Starbase 324, avoiding the Paulson Nebula, maximum warp.
All right, so let's. So we will say that you are now traveling at warp in pursuit of the two Romulan warbirds, and the next thing up is you go down to the brig to interrogate the good doctor. Yeah.
The bad doctor.
No, we're not in pursuit.
You're not.
If they're in a direct course for Romulan space and they're going through the Paulson Nebula, I want to circumnavigate the Paulson Nebula to Starbase 324 so we can catch them on the other side.
Okay.
So we're navigating around the nebula since they have to drop to impulse, and we should be able to catch them on the northeastern side, for lack of a better term.
Okay, you can do that. But okay, so that's the route that the Tempest is taking right now, and we'll say that it's that's in the process. So while you guys are traveling, you head down to the brig to interrogate Dr. Turan. As you enter the brig, he is sitting and he's very clearly very unhappy. maybe at you, but also maybe at himself, really at the whole situation and just how it's gone completely to shit from what he had intended. But as you walk in, he does not say anything at first.
I'm assuming this is Holden and Teal.
Oh, I thought the captain was in there.
You tell me who's there.
I probably should not be there because he might not care for me.
I say the three of us, led by Holden and Teal, walk in, and I am behind, and I just sort of look at Torin with a steely gaze of discontent, and then I look at Holden, make eye contact, slowly nod, and then close the door.
Okay. How would the two of you like to do this?
With extreme prejudice.
All right, I'm gonna walk up and just say, start talking.
Do a presence plus security difficulty 4, unless
Seriously,
you want
a
to.
4?
Huh?
Seriously, a 4?
Unless, let me finish.
I have a 12 for presents. Let me do it.
Unless you want to, throw something else at him roleplay wise. If you can figure out good incentives for him to talk, I will lower that difficulty level.
I mean, that's Maddox's thing. That's not really Holden's
Okay.
thing.
Well,
All right.
but it's mine. I have mediation and stuff as my values. Not
Okay,
and
so-
stuff, but
And stuff is a great focus because
yeah.
it's really
No, I have
aligned.
mediation and confidence and understanding and.
So I'll let you use the mediation focus, and I'll take it down a difficulty level if
Okay.
you can, actually make to him some kind of decent case about,
Well, I was gonna
how
say, how
you're
about
gonna help him.
so out of game, just narratively.
Mm-hmm.
If I try this and fail, then how about Teal steps in and then she can utilize the mediation stuff as now she takes over the good cop bad cop routine.
Ooh, good security officer, bad security officer.
Yeah.
Okay. If you wanna try it, go for it.
Yeah. So I think I just want to try this alone,
Sure.
despite the high difficulty level, just to try it.
Sure.
And if he doesn't talk, then you can kind of take over and try that, and then I'll just standing around menacingly.
Maddox opens the door and escorts in 4 different security officers armed to the teeth, and then closes the door behind.
And flashes a thumbs up as they walk in.
What about the
Okay.
finger guns?
Yeah.
So go ahead and do what you're gonna do, Holden.
All right. We were maxed out on momentum. Yes.
Correct.
I'm gonna spend 3 to get to do 2 more to do 2 extra dice.
Okay.
What'd we do?
Nope.
Not
I
good
got
enough.
3 successes.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So you do not succeed at that task. He doesn't say anything. He sort of looks to Teal, trying to look for some kind of not to say a friend, but your intimidation did not work, and he's looking for something else.
So I step forward with a disappointed mom face,
Okay.
and I look him in the eye, and I say, "Listen, you're in a lot of trouble. If you want us to be able to help you with your upcoming punishment and consequences, you need to talk to us."
He looks at you for a moment. He thinks about it. He says, "If the Federation will grant me asylum, then I will help you. I cannot go back to Angosia. Not now. Not after all of this."
And I say, "I'll have to run that by the captain. Is there anything else you want to tell me?"
Dr. Teal, give me an insight and presence difficulty of 3.
No, insight and presence are both attributes.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Presence plus command. Sorry.
Presence plus command. Difficulty 3, you said?
Yep.
This is the highest thing I've ever had, by the way. This is 16 for me.
Oh,
Nice.
ooh.
And you should spend at least 1 momentum. Oh,
Oh,
good work.
I didn't.
well.
I didn't.
You
do that.
did, but yeah. But you got it. Okay. So. Yeah. So he says, "Okay. I will help you if you try to get me asylum." He has to take a moment to collect himself as he admits to the fact that he alone stole the plans, the designs for this torpedo from the Romulans. So this is actually a Romulan torpedo design that he stole through his own kind of nefarious means, and presented to his government, the Angosian government, as his own creation, which they used to try to curry favor with the Federation, try to make a good impression with the Federation. And he admits now that
that backfired.
Now that his scheme has collapsed, that he will he is essentially a criminal on Angosia and will probably go to prison for the rest of his life.
I'm good with that.
If he returns to Angosia. So he will help you track down the prototype. He knows ways of tracking the signal that it leaves behind, the traces that it leaves behind. And if you agree to grant him asylum, or at least temporary asylum status, then he will help you track down the torpedo prototype.
Well, I think he sounds genuine in his offer, and I need to talk it over with the captain.
Okay.
I will note, being a fugitive is not really grounds for granting asylum to someone. Just saying.
Yeah, I suppose.
That's up to you guys. So
meanwhile, in his quarters, Maddox is eating a giant chocolate ice cream with whipped cream and some sprinkles.
Oh man, I want that.
That sounds nice.
Yeah.
What's Goodspeed eating? Probably tasty cakes.
Knuckle sandwich.
Knuckle
a
sandwich.
knuckle sandwich.
He's punching himself in the face repeatedly.
Okay, so Captain, what? Well, first of all, Teal, would you like to make any kind of particular case to the captain? And then, Captain, what are your thoughts?
Not a particular case. I just want to, I would just go and report exactly what happened and see if the captain agrees that would be prudent of us to accept his help in exchange for granting him asylum or helping him be in a little less trouble.
Well, I certainly agree with Holden in that he is. It's not like he was ever operating from a position of moral authority. He was trying to make a profit, either financially or just politically in his own government, and as a consequence, intentionally deceived the Starfleet.
Sure.
And now risked our entire ship and crew all in this risky venture against both the Klingons and the Romulans. So I am not particularly. I'm not in a really giving mood right now.
Well, plus, like he'll probably face some charges from the Federation as well. So
yeah, and so I personally see no real benefit from actually presenting his case to Starfleet, but
we do need his help.
I do need his help. So what I'm thinking is, I would say we'd submit our support, his request to Starfleet Command for asylum based upon the situation, and frankly, our hands are kind of tied at this moment. It seems like Starfleet is pretty gung ho about tracking down this technology before it goes north of the neutral zone. So, I would say we sort of have to take him on his word, only because we have no other choice. But
Captain, I would like to make a suggestion.
Go ahead.
My thought is that the crime of essentially like passing it all off is mostly with his own government and the charges that he could face there. But since he also deceived us, he would likely be facing some sort of Starfleet charges. And maybe we can present it to him that the Starfleet charges would be less, and that we could maybe delay necessarily sending those charges into Starfleet, and we can resolve that after we get the torpedo back, as a way to sort of coax him into helping us without necessarily saying we're going to let you off scot-free.
Let me just interject here to just throw you the basic kind of asylum policy of the Federation here, just so you kind of understand the decision you're actually making.
Yeah.
So basically the way asylum policy works is, if any person who is not a Federation citizen can request asylum from outside of a Federation or Starfleet facility, right? So if he were on the planet Angosia, he could request asylum, and then it would be your decision as the captain whether or not to let him on board the ship. once he steps foot on board either your ship or the a starbase or a Federation planet or colony or anything like that, he does automatically get like a provisional status, which then gets him a hearing. So basically at this point, since he's already on your ship, he already kind of has a provisional asylum status. Basically what you would be promising him or offering him if you decide to do it is that you're going to put in a good word with him when he actually like gets his full hearing, which would then decide whether or not he gets to stay or has to go back. Does that make sense?
It makes sense, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that.
That's up to you. That's your decision. But
I would say that
he's going to get a hearing from a Federation magistrate, and you're gonna you can right now say, I will put in a good word for you at that hearing or not. That's the decision in front of you.
All right.
I mean, you could say, I will put in a good word for you at that hearing if you help us get back the...
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's exactly the approach Maddox takes. He lets himself in, and everybody else leaves the brig. He tells the security guards to leave, and he has a one-on-one with Torn where he says exactly that.
Okay.
I cannot help you right now, but the only thing I can promise you is putting in a good word if you start helping me unequivocally right now.
And he says, okay, I will do that. Thank you, Captain.
And then I open the door and I look at Teal, who's right there at the door, and say, "Is he lying?"
And he's definitely not lying.
That's it.
This
No.
Okay, so she gives me the wink and the gun.
yeah,
And finger guns.
So wink and the finger guns.
all of this dude's defenses and defensiveness is all collapsed. Whatever pretense this guy had is now totally gone.
Yeah.
That was quite a punch, Goodspeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you punched all of the dickhead out of him.
All right, so we hop in the turbo lift and make our way up to the bridge.
Okay, so with his help, you guys are going to have to track down the trail of the radiation being leaked by this torpedo prototype, the remains of it. So go ahead and do a reason plus a science task with a difficulty of 2. And because he's helping you, that has reduced the difficulty.
Who?
Whoever wants to do reason plus science.
I have 13 for that.
As do I.
I think I have like
Okay.
a 12.
So what are we doing right now?
He's basically giving you the detailed information on what to look for on your sensors in order to find it.
That sounds like he'd be giving that to Teal.
Okay. Difficulty?
It's a difficulty 2. And you have 4 momentum right now.
Should I spend one, fellas?
Yes. I would say
Probably.
so.
Is the computer helping as well?
Yeah, the ship can help.
Or essentially wouldn't he roll an assist as well?
Well, he's assisting in the sense that he's lowering the difficulty of it.
Gotcha. Okay, so computers and science, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
Or sorry, sensors and science.
Okay, sensors and science. All right.
Oops.
Oh dear.
That
I was
went
gonna say we
poorly.
should spend momentum. So.
I did.
Yeah, she did.
Oh, did you? Okay.
That went poorly.
The ship succeeds.
Well, that's good.
Okay. But that's still only 2 successes. Oh wait, yeah, that's what you needed. Sorry. Okay.
Okay.
Do
good.
you want a complication now or a threat later?
Complication now, I
Yeah.
would say.
Okay. So you're able to track it down, and they're on a direct course from between Angosia and the Romulan border. They have not yet reached the Pulse Nebula. The sensor readings are very unusual. You guys haven't really ever encountered anything like this before. So that's going to increase the difficulty of a future sensor scan. So you can tell that the trail leads to just before the Pulse Nebula, where it seems to have stopped.
It seems to have stopped.
Yes.
All right. I would ordinarily ask Dr. Teal if she thinks that the radiation stops because it's possible that the trail goes into the Pulsar Nebula and we can't read beyond that.
Could I try modifying the sensors as the engineer to see if we can read the trail into the nebula?
Not from this
okay.
distance. You would have to actually fly there to learn anything else.
So where are we then? Are we at Starbase 324 at this
All
point?
right, so just to put this on tracks a little bit, the radiation trail ends right before the Pulse Nebula. It stops there, and that's because the ships themselves have stopped. They are no longer moving towards the Romulan neutral zone.
Okay, Ensign Doe, set course to Rail Puppies with alacrity, please.
Ralpa peace.
Rail Puppies.
The Tempest arrives, and somebody do a reason plus science with a difficulty of 1.
That should probably be our science officer.
That would be 13 for me.
How many momentum do we have at this point?
3. There it goes.
Did it twice.
Yeah, you're fine. You
Same
got it.
result.
So you arrive at the scene, and you see just the one Romulan warbird there, and it is dead in space. Apparently, you have no idea where the other warbird is, and the visible warbird is giving off incredible radiation readings that are consistent with this prototype. Dr. Teal, go ahead and do another task for me: reason and medicine with a difficulty 1.
Okay.
You rolled okay there. So your readings tell you that the concentration of tachyon particles is so dense and are so incredibly toxic that you will begin to suffer the ill effects almost immediately, and it would be debilitating within a very short period of time. Even wearing environmental suits won't protect anybody who goes over there for very long before cellular decay begins to affect everyone. So let's see.
Dr. Teal, how would you think that the radiation would affect deer physiology?
There's only one way to find out.
So, a reminder that your orders are to retrieve the torpedo and prevent them from falling into Romulan hands. So there is an intense amount of radiation there. You can clear the radiation from the ship before you retrieve it, which is what you would have to do. That's essentially the challenge that's in front of you. You would have to go over there, take a shuttlecraft over there because transporters won't work, vent the radiation from the area, and then retrieve the remains of the prototype.
Yeesh.
All right, let's do it.
Isn't the prototype the source of the radiation?
Yes.
Yeah. So how do we clear it?
So we just have to clear it out well enough so that we could actually grab it and then try to find some way to contain it as well once we get back to the ship.
Yeah, and then you would have to contain it once you got it back aboard your ship, but then you have all of the resources of your ship to help you in that.
Okay. Right.
I imagine Goodspeed will want to fly over, and myself will join, as well as, I assume, Teal.
Okay.
So you will need at least 4 people to carry it, because the radiation will damage or prevents from working any like gravity sleds or anything like that.
It seems like this is going to be a very challenging task, so I am going to join the landing party so that you can benefit from some team dynamics help.
Okay.
I mean, there are 4 of us.
So flying over is going to be control and con, difficulty of 1.
That will be Goodspeed,
Okay, sorry.
I believe. You have decent con.
Yeah,
I
I've
think, right?
got I've
he's
got
a
a
pilot.
13.
He can fly.
2 successes.
Okay, and that gives you a momentum. Point of momentum.
Ooh.
Okay, so you guys successfully fly over in a shuttlecraft.
And immediately die from radiation poisoning.
Yes. So within
fun
moments, you begin to feel a tingle in your extremities, which is the radiation starting to do its work.
I guess we could have checked to see if we could have vented it remotely.
Yeah, you couldn't have. So the Klingon ship has no power. That's why you couldn't have done it remotely. So you all have your tricorders and phasers on you, and you can use the power from them to power a console to vent the radiation. So let's see.
So yeah.
Do a reason plus engineering task with a difficulty of 1.
I will do that. Reason. Engineering. 1 success, 1 failure.
Okay, so that tells you which console is the one that you need to do, the one that you need to interact with in order to actually do the dispersal of the radiation. Now,
So I'm gonna try and hook up a tricorder or phaser to power the console to vent the radiation.
Yep, and so the next thing to actually do the dispersal is going to be a control plus security with a difficulty of 4. And you can attempt this multiple times, but every time you're using either a tricorder or a phaser to do so. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna use my tricorder first because I'm not gonna give up my phaser.
Okay.
We have how much momentum?
5.
5. Okay.
Maddox walks over to Holden, puts his arm on his shoulder, and says, "You got this, buddy."
Team dynamics.
And the captain says, "Team dynamics," as he walks away.
Yep.
So how much momentum are you spending?
You said difficulty 4,
Yes.
and can someone assist me, or is it just me?
Somebody can assist you, yeah.
All right. Good speed. I would say you probably.
I'm here to help.
Ooh. I'll spend 1, and I would suggest good speed.
Yeah, I'll do
as
the
well.
same. So I'll roll 2.
Ooh, nice job.
What'd you roll?
I had 3 successes.
And whoa, double
Ooh,
successes.
okay.
Woohoo!
So
Okay.
5 total successes. So we get.
So you get 1 momentum back, and you succeed. So you successfully
Succeed.
locate the correct sequence of buttons on the console and manage to work even this strange, unfamiliar Romulan design, and
I'm really
disperse
proud
the,
of you guys.
and
No,
disperse
I mean,
the.
It's not totally unfamiliar for me. So
That's
It
true.
is for me.
I know Romulan.
That's true. You managed to successfully disperse the radiation. Let's see. So.
Do we know where the torpedo is at this point?
Yes, it is in the cargo bay, and now it's going to take all the characters present to do a fitness plus command with a difficulty of 1.
Everybody?
Yep.
All right. I got 2 double successes.
And I got a single success.
Woohoo!
Nice. Look at us.
Yikes.
Wow, a lot of
Maddox
success
with 3
going
and
around.
Teal with
All
3.
right. So that's yikes. You get all of your momentum back, so you're full up on momentum, and you
Yay.
successfully carry the torpedo back to
We
the
literally
shuttlecraft.
like tossed the torpedo back and forth like we're the Harlem Globetrotters.
Okay, so good speed, do another control and contest, difficulty 1, and that's you guys flying back to the ship.
1 success.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Okay, you guys successfully fly back. You now have the remains of this torpedo prototype aboard. You're able to quarantine the radiation in a cargo bay. You have to evacuate the surrounding compartments, but that's not a problem. You throw up some heavy force fields. Now with Dr. Turan's help, you're able to make sure that those force fields actually work, unlike last time. And you successfully have the remains of this prototype aboard.
Huzzah!
At which point,
Oh boy.
the second Romulan warbird decloaks.
Pete's sake.
What jerk.
Come on.
Instead of immediately opening fire, they hail you. And the Romulan commander on board the one ship demands that you return their property, which is the prototype, to their ship. Otherwise, they will open fire and destroy you.
How do we know it's their property? I don't see a watermark on this.
So it's up to you as to what you would like to do.
Can I do a quick scan of the torpedo to try and get as much information about it as we can?
Also, there's a Romulan warbird decloaking, so a red alert, shields up.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Yeah, I'll let you go ahead and do that.
All right, so Maddox starts talking. He makes eye contact with Holden and understands Holden's intentions to try to scan for more information, and he starts opening up a dialogue with Sub Commander Sumalak, and they have a back and forth, and they're really just sort of playing games with each other, one back and forth, and nobody's really giving an inch one way or the other. But all Maddox is really trying to do is buy enough time for Holden to give some sort of report to him. So he's playing this game while Holden does his business.
Okay, so Holden, go ahead and do. I'll let you do a scan. Reason plus science, but it's going to be hard. Difficulty 4. But you can also use the ship to help.
Okay.
Oh, I have acute radiation poisoning, so I'm gonna fall down now. Bye.
All right.
Go to sick bay.
Okay.
Good luck, TJ. Yeah. All right. So I have a focus of fast learner.
I will
Alright,
let
so-
you use your fast learner focus.
Yeah, since this is under the clock and all.
Yep.
So what does that focus do for me again? It doubles successes.
Correct. Every success you roll is double. It counts as 2.
All right. I am gonna spend a momentum.
Okay.
So that's 3 for me, and then I'm also rolling for the ship. Correct?
Correct.
What is the ship rolling? Sensors and science?
Yes.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So I rolled 2 successes, which since I have a focus would double that to 4, and the ship rolled 1, so we get the 1 momentum back.
Okay. So you are able to discern a whole bunch of information about the prototype, none of which is immediately practical. It's just how this thing works, how the power source works, and the energy that it draws upon, the kind of radiation that it puts out, the expected yield of it. Not obviously a complete blueprint because it's already half detonated and not a complete prototype anymore. But information that would theoretically be helpful somewhat to rebuilding it someday somewhere.
All right.
What would you like to do now?
Is there a way we can destroy it?
Yeah, you can destroy it. That would piss off the Romulans to do so.
And that goes
And
against our
piss off
charter.
Starfleet too.
True.
Although, if we tell Starfleet we destroyed it so that it wouldn't get back to the Romulans, they would probably be understanding.
Now, so Starfleet has given you kind of two conflicting orders here, and it understands that the orders are conflicting, but nevertheless, those are the orders. The orders are, A, don't let this technology fall back into the Romulan hands, but B, don't also inflame tensions with Romulans or,
Right.
provoke them. So those two things are kind of mutually exclusive. However, Starfleet also doesn't know that the torpedo originally belonged to the Romulans. Starfleet still thinks that this was technology developed by the Angosians.
I see.
So you definitely have conflicting orders from Starfleet, but Starfleet also doesn't have all the information. So yeah.
But
Is there a way we can destroy it and make it look like an accident?
Well, that's what I'm getting at. So we obviously have a stronger containment field technology because we were able to contain this radiation where the Romulans could not. So what I'm thinking is we shield off any possible sensor readings that the Romulans can detect by increasing our containment field capacity to whatever the max limit is, and also simultaneously set off some sort of detonation that could simulate as though we had just destroyed it. So we can have our cake and eat it too. When they see the explosion and they no longer detect it.
Okay. I will let you try that, but faking that is going to be very difficult, right? Because the radiation is very strong and very unique. So shielding it is not impossible, but it's going to be very difficult. And if you fail at it, then they will know that you tried to deceive them and steal their technology for your own purposes, and obviously that will not make them happy.
Okay. Anybody else have any other suggestions?
I mean, in some, I also don't even know if we really have to worry about keeping it. We got a bunch of data gathered from the scans. At this point, we have an up on it. If they were really if it wasn't a big deal for them, they would have just left it. So I would say we just destroy it outright. They may get pissed at us, but I don't know if they're gonna attack us. And it's a one-on-one fight. Our ship is in better shape. Time has passed, so we've repaired everything. So. And
I'll also point out that they're on your side of the neutral zone. So right now they are technically the ones in violation of the treaty.
Yeah, I say we just destroy the torpedo. I say we just destroy the stuff that we have, and they can either stay and fight and we can take it on, or they can run.
Okay. I will take Holden up on his suggestion.
Okay. We'll do it this way. You can either shoot at it right away, but that will damage your ship in some regard, or I'll let you fly off to a safe distance, but then that will give the Romulans one attempt at retrieving it.
Ooh. Can we backtrack and have a different idea?
Yeah, if you want.
What if we load it onto a shuttlecraft, but when we open the hangar bay doors, we send out 3 shuttlecraft. So 3 shuttlecraft, but only one.
We're gonna play Monty, whatever it is.
Yeah, and so they have we reduce their chances of getting it right on the first try by 3.
Are we playing the shell game?
Yeah.
So why don't we just load it on a shuttle and start flying it to them, and then just shoot the shuttle when it's on its way? Because they can't beam it away from the shuttle either. So.
That's true.
Well, shit, that's a good idea. That saves us 2 shuttlecraft. This is why I keep you around, Holden.
Yeah, so Captain, I suggest we just load it onto a shuttle and send it out, And maybe not even tell them what's going on and just have the shuttle start heading towards them and then just destroy it once it's at a slightly safe distance.
And then set course for
between the two of
maximum
us.
more back to home. I love it.
Yeah.
We're in home.
But like even more home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So, all right. I'll just let you do it. You load the torpedo remains onto a shuttle pod. We'll say you don't need a full shuttlecraft because you're just going from ship to ship, and you have two shuttle pods: the Christopher Reddy and the Kumagawa. Do you have a preference as to which one you want to use?
Good night, Christopher.
Christopher Reddy. Okay, that's gonna
Good night,
make
Chris.
make us all sad.
Oh no.
Godspeed.
She's never gonna get her jacket back now.
Sure was a good ship.
Okay, so you load it onto
Sure
the
was a
Christopher
good
Reddy.
shuttle pod.
Give me somebody a control plus engineering task difficulty 2, and this represents autopilots flying it via autopilot.
How about Ensign Doe? What is his?
I mean, it's control and engineering, so I should probably do it.
Oh, you should do it. Okay, yeah.
Well,
We're
should
not.
someone...
No. I thought for a minute that I had combat mixed up. Like you can still go again. I thought you used your turn, but no,
Yeah,
you
we
can
won't
still
say
go.
this is combat yet, so we're going to be a little bit looser on
Okay.
that aspect of it.
And
That's
we
fine.
got back... We got back... Sorry, Eel.
Whatever. I don't care anymore.
So, we got a couple momentum back. Am I remembering that correctly, or are we still... What are we at?
We were full.
Yeah, you're full up right now.
That's right, because we had that epic one.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and spend 1 momentum on this
Okay.
task.
Yeah, what did you roll?
3 successes.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you get it back. So you wire the Christopher Reddy's control systems into the main computer. You fly it by autopilot out of the main shuttle bay, and it starts to fly towards the Romulan warbird. Now do.
But we do-
Yeah.
This is up to the captain. I was saying that we make sure it like we're not sending this as a bomb at the warbird. It's a matter of we're just destroying the thing.
Okay, yeah, actually, that's a good point. So let me throw that as a question to you. What direction are you flying it in? Towards the warbird, away from...
Oh, we're flying it towards the warbird, but I was planning on firing phasers at the shuttlecraft right before it gets within any sort of destructive.
Yeah, because it's not a torpedo anymore. But we're not trying to hurt the
Yeah.
warbird with this move.
Right.
I want to make an awesome statement, so I want it to be right out their windshield, but I don't want to actually cause them any damage. And basically,
Across their nose, not up it.
Yes. Yeah.
so
That
I
was
want to
good.
blow the shuttle and hit maximum warp basically in the same like 1-2 milliseconds.
All right.
So if you're firing phasers at it, we'll say it's still in close range, but this is going to be a straight, phaser attack roll. So, yeah, somebody roll for themselves and the ship, and the ship is going to be weapons and security.
I will roll for me.
I'll do the ship, weapons, security for the ship.
And what difficulty is this? It's close range.
Yeah, which is
So is it
ideal. So it's difficulty 2, I think.
Okay. Well, no, I thought medium range was ideal for phasers.
No, actually, that's what I thought, and what I said mistakenly at first. But ideal range for phasers is actually close.
That makes
what
more
I
sense to me,
thought. Okay.
actually. And I'm going to spend a momentum for the ship, so I'll be rolling 2.
Okay.
All right.
And-
Holden, are you spending a
I am-
momentum?
I am not.
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Well,
Okay.
we did it.
So you get that momentum back. Not gonna give you a complication.
Oh, should we also have, since we did it at the same time, should we have also set course and done a...
No, I'm just gonna let you.
We're gonna deal with the repercussions.
Yeah, I'll play it out narratively here in a second. So you target the Christopher Reddy, you fire full phasers, and you destroy it right away. It goes up in a ball of flame, of zero
Green
gravity
flame.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Well, yeah, because it's a singularity, which is Romulan technology, and all they know is green.
Oh.
Everything they do is green.
Yeah, that's why.
So the shuttle Christopher Reddy is no more. It's completely exploded. The Romulans are certainly pissed. The Romulan warbird sits there for a moment, and you're kind of wondering, are they going to hail and start yelling at you, or open fire, or what? And it's kind of a very suspenseful moment. But then after that moment passes, the warbird destroys the other warbird, the one that had been disabled.
Oh.
I was worried about that. I was gonna swoop in if you forgot.
And then the remaining warbird cloaks, disappears, and presumably heads back towards Romulan space.
The end.
At the end.
The end. Actually, I'm just curious. Should we play out the Angosian prisoner asylum thing, or no?
So he's definitely getting a date in a Federation court to make his case for asylum. And you said you would put in a good word for him. We will say basically that because of your status and situation as the captain directly involved in this event, your word in that court date is going to carry a lot of weight. So do you actually follow through and put in a good word or no?
Well, this is what I think we do. We tell Starfleet exactly what happened and how we were betrayed by this guy, essentially. Lied to and deceived. And then we set course for some M-class planet, but is completely devoid of intelligent life. And then we drop him off.
Okay.
And we see what seed that we planted this day brings forth.
And you just leave him there for 30 years, and nobody ever comes to
exactly.
check on him ever again.
Nobody ever comes to check on him, and that way we have Star Trek Tempest 2: The Wrath of Turan already in the pipeline.
Already queued up and ready to go. And it's going to be the best Tempest adventure ever. 'Cause that's how storytelling works.
Thank you for listening to the conclusion of our second mission, That Which Is Unknown. Tune in for part 1 of our next mission, Border Dispute. As always, we'd like to thank our followers on social media and our Patreon sponsors. You are the dilithium crystals that power the Tempest. If you are interested in becoming a patron, please visit our page at patreon.com/Starship Tempest. To find us on social media, do you use Twitter, Instagram, Facebook? We're everywhere. We have the handle Starship Tempest. There you'll discover lots of fun content and get to know a little more about the crew. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you out there. I definitely snapped and did finger guns.